When you're in the trenches with somebody, I mean, there's nothing like it. You know, race, religion, ethnicity, sex, none of that matters. Like, all that matters is you are an American and you're there fighting for America. That's what people forget. That's what Joe Biden forgets, is like, it's all about America, right? And there's a reason why you see these Afghans trying to flee and come to America, because it's that symbol of hope. It's a symbol of everything that's right in this country. So that relationship you have with your colleagues, your shipmates, your soldiers, your sailors, airmen, and Marines, there's nothing like it.
So what I had was what's called a night letter. And these are threats that the Taliban and Al-Qaeda tend to give to those who they don't like or want to take action against. The one I was holding up was a night letter delivered by the Taliban in the dead of the night to a school principal, telling him to get out of town or else. His crime? Teaching girls. That he was running a girls' school in the hinterlands of Afghanistan for girls and families that really had no path to any type of education. He stood strong. He resisted, he fought back, and in response, they killed his brother, and then they killed his cousin and burnt down the school. So these are the types of thugs that we're dealing with. These are Islamic extremists who run themselves like the mafia, and if you dare to stand up and oppose them, if they can't kill you, they'll hunt down your family and kill them.
When I was blown up, I can remember the flash of light, and I can remember it tumbling me through the air, and I can remember hearing, I still had my earpiece in my ear after I was blown up, and I can remember the other guys that I was with radioing up my call sign saying, EOD is hit, EOD is down. The most painful thing that they put me through, which was putting tourniquets on what was left of each one of my legs and what was left of my left arm, which was probably the most painful thing I'll probably ever go through, when they were wrenching those down to keep me from bleeding out on the battlefield. But I came under the care of an Army medic. And this Army medic, his name was Josh, and he was somebody that I had gone to from basically elementary school to high school with. And he recognized me as Brian Mass, this guy that he went to school with. And he reached back home to our hometown. The only contact that he could find a way to get in contact with me, contacted the high school. Said, hey, this is who I am. I've got one of your other alumni here. I'm taking care of him, gravely injured. And can you get me in contact with his family? So he had my wife email him a photo of her and our then about 6-month-old son. It's our oldest son. And he took that photograph. He's in Germany. She's in North Carolina. He took that photograph and he blew it up to about this big. And he taped it to that flat part at the end of a hospital gurney where my feet probably should have been sticking up, but they weren't. And so that whenever I woke up, the first thing that I would see would be my wife and kids looking back at me.
I was a physician, and I was working mostly on the medical side of the house and doing things of that nature, but I did work with interpreters and stuff when I was over there as well. And I hear the stories of the operators that were out, outside the wire working with these guys. And what I hear, and this is another thing that just really upset me as well, is Joe Biden blame it on the Afghan forces, saying that they don't have the will to fight and they're not warriors. You'll hear just the opposite if you talk to the special forces community that worked with these Afghan fighters over there. They'll tell you that they're some of the most fearless, brave people that are out there.
I went back again in 2009 and 10, deploying as a commanding officer of a fighter squadron. Those were 2 different deployments that we went for 6 months at a time, supporting troops on the ground. We were in Bagram and as well as Kabul, and we had done a great job of protecting civilians and delivering strikes to eradicate the Taliban and all Al-Qaeda. I leave it up to historians and political scientists to determine how long this war should have gone, but we did our duty over there. We were proud to do it, as all veterans of Afghanistan should be proud of.
Afghanistan, it isn't a country on a map for many of us. Many of us grew up there, and it's part of us. It'll always be part of us.